Here's the bombshell you've been waiting for. A major development just dropped in the financial saga between Justin Bieber and his longtime mentor, Scooter Braun. This isn't just about money. It's about a fractured relationship, a hidden audit, and a potential truce that could reshape their individual futures. If you want to understand every twist and turn of this incredibly complex narrative and how a surprising new element might finally bring it to an end, you need to subscribe right now and prepare for the full, unfiltered story that has everyone talking. This revelation could finally bring an end to a bitter, years-long dispute that has seen accusations fly and bonds break. The core of the dispute centers on Justin Bieber's accusation that Scooter Braun, his former manager and once a father figure, allegedly screwed him out of tens of millions of dollars through excessive commissions. This claim formed the basis of a financial contention that deeply fractured their relationship. However, a significant turning point emerged from an independent audit conducted by Price Waterhouse. This audit, shockingly, revealed the opposite of Justin's claims. It indicated that Justin actually owed Scooter nearly $9 million. This finding significantly shifted the leverage in Scooter's favor as negotiations began. Despite the audit's findings, Scooter reportedly expressed a willingness to waive the $9 million debt, stating he didn't care about that specific amount. However, two other substantial financial issues remained outstanding. The first involves a $40 million advance Justin received from AEG for his Justice tour a couple of years ago. When Justin abruptly canceled the tour due to personal problems, AEG demanded repayment of $26 million for the unused portion of the advance. Scooter's company reportedly stepped in and paid this amount on Justin's behalf, as Justin was reportedly experiencing financial difficulties at the time. The agreement was for Justin to repay Scooter's company over a decade, but Justin allegedly made only one payment before stopping. Scooter now seeks the return of that $26 million. The second financial point of contention involves an additional $11 million that Scooter allegedly had not been paid by Justin during his management tenure. This amount is separate from the Price Waterhouse audit findings. Despite this, reports suggest that Scooter is willing to accept significantly less than the full amount, agreeing to pennies on the dollar, offering Justin a substantial reduction on this particular debt. These ongoing financial issues have been at the heart of their prolonged conflict, fueling a deep animosity between the two. The most recent and significant development in this ongoing saga is the report that Justin and Scooter are now very close to reaching a settlement on this major financial dispute. This progress follows the release of a documentary that shed new light on the situation. Sources indicate that Justin, upon watching the documentary, learned about the independent audits for the first time. This information reportedly caused him to reevaluate his perspective, leading to a shift in his thinking about the dispute. Another crucial factor influencing the current negotiations is Hailey Bieber's recent financial success. Her beauty company, Rhode, was reportedly sold for approximately $1 billion, significantly bolstering the couple's financial standing. This means that Justin is now financially capable of repaying the $26 million debt owed to Scooter's company. Reports suggest that he intends to pay back the full $26 million, but as for the $11 million, Scooter is expected to accept a much smaller sum, effectively giving Justin a win on that particular point. Beyond the financial aspects, the relationship between Justin and Scooter, once characterized by a close father-son bond, had severely deteriorated. Justin even unfollowed Scooter earlier this year, a public sign of their strained connection. However, with the impending settlement, which could finalize as early as next week, there are discussions about a healing process beginning between them. While it's unlikely they will revert to their former friendship, the hope is that both individuals can move forward and put the painful past behind them. The question arises whether watching the documentary reminded Justin of the positive aspects of his relationship with Scooter, leading him to seek an end to the prolonged conflict. It's certainly a possibility that this introspection played a role. From Scooter's perspective, despite the $11 million he was owed for various managerial services and contracts, his willingness to accept a substantially reduced sum indicates a desire to prioritize the larger $26 million repayment. The decision to heavily discount the $11 million could be seen as a strategic move to secure the more significant debt, especially given Scooter's considerable wealth and Justin and Hailey's current financial liquidity. The history between Justin and Scooter is incredibly rich and complex. Scooter served as a paternal figure to Justin for many years. This deep-rooted connection adds layers to their feud, making the potential for reconciliation, even a limited one, all the more significant. It's important to remember that during a period of intense conflict, Justin, along with his church leader, reportedly met with Scooter, and during that meeting, Justin's anger reportedly began to soften. This suggests that a door, however slightly, remained open for eventual resolution. However, the recent developments in Justin's public behavior, including angry text messages and unusual social media activity, indicate that he may not be in a good place mentally. The documentary itself touched on his struggles, but current observations suggest his condition might have worsened. For him to publicly acknowledge a mental crisis and for the world to witness his struggles points to serious underlying issues. In response to the financial revelations, particularly the $9 million Justin owed Scooter, and Scooter's willingness to waive it, questions have been raised about Hailey's role. There's speculation about whether Hailey will use funds from her massive road deal to help Justin settle these debts. Some have even suggested that if Hailey were to assist financially, she should consider a post-nuptial agreement to protect her assets. It's worth noting, however, that Justin also sold his music catalog for $200 million, indicating he has substantial funds of his own. Shifting gears entirely, another major news story involves the Diddy trial, which experienced a surprising halt. Court proceedings for the day were canceled because a juror experienced vertigo, an inner ear condition that affects balance. This highlights the logistical challenges of high-profile trials, where the illness of even one juror can bring the entire process to a standstill, as all jurors must hear all testimony. If a juror is late or unwell, court cannot proceed, creating significant delays. The Diddy trial was set to hear testimony from Brendan Paul, who was arrested on felony drug possession charges at an airport on the same day Diddy's homes were raided. Paul is now expected to testify on a later date. Questions have arisen about the severity of the juror's vertigo. While it's a condition that can be temporary, some forms, like Meniere's disease, can be more persistent. This juror's sudden illness, reported by his significant other, has disrupted the prosecution's plans to rest their case soon, potentially causing further complications for the trial schedule. Further details have emerged regarding juror number 6, who was recently removed from the Diddy trial. Initially, the defense reportedly believed this juror might be sympathetic to Diddy and skeptical of the prosecution's case. However, the prosecutor requested his removal, alleging that he lied about his residence. It has since been clarified that this juror was not a significant Diddy fan, nor was he particularly interested in 90s hip-hop. Sources close to the juror indicate he was more interested in Spanish music and was not starstruck by the proceedings. He reportedly wishes to put the case behind him, refusing to discuss it with reporters, friends, or family, even withholding his opinions on the testimony heard thus far. The removal of juror number 6 means an alternate juror will take his place. With 6 alternate jurors initially selected, for now remain, underscoring the challenges of maintaining a full jury in lengthy and high-profile cases. Such situations are common in prolonged trials, where jurors are often instructed to avoid media coverage, a task that becomes incredibly difficult in a case as widely publicized as Diddy's. The continuous rotation of jurors due to illness or other issues can significantly impact the trial's flow and dynamics. Another perspective offered on the Diddy trial's juror situation suggests that juror illnesses are unsurprising given the nature of the testimony. One viewer commented that watching hours and hours of Diddy at these freak-offs would likely make anyone feel dizzy and mentally fatigued, suggesting that the jurors might be in need of therapy themselves. This highlights the psychological toll that prolonged exposure to disturbing or intense trial content can take on those serving on a jury.